I just got done eating some Buffalo Wild Wings. I eat all of them. I don't eat that much, but Jeffrey, play the intro. Wendy is a real cuckoo boy. Cuckoo boy! He eats his veggies and he's real strong. Real strong! But when Nat and Sunny teamed up, he had to get real buff. Now he's doing big YouTubing stuff. He's a buff Wendy, tough Wendy. He's a tough Wendy. I do with nice blue hair and he already knows and should be sexy. He's a buff Wendy, tough Wendy. He's a tough Wendy. So, welcome to, I guess this is like the first episode of this. I don't even know if it'll be a series, but I just want to start doing more art stuff. You know, I feel like because the channel was created doing art. I was doing animations and just animations. There was a video where I was showcasing some of my drawings, but I deleted it because I was young and I had a bald head. And I looked like I was from the forest, so I deleted it. And my emo friend was in the background, so you know. So I deleted it, and yeah, I can't find it back. Good. I was gonna draw, like just draw stuff, because I bought some books. It's just notebooks. You can look. Let me tell y'all something. All y'all that do art, you don't need a PC. You don't need to start off digital. You can paper and pen. You know. Well, when I was in school, I used to just doodle on my books. Like I'll show you guys in the next video. Like I have some of my, if I can find them, some of my books from college as well. I have drawings on the corners, some of the pages while the teacher is talking. I'm listening. Don't get me wrong. Listen in school. I'm listening, but I'm also kind of like I have these ideas and I'm just like I'm smiling to myself. So I'm looking retarded, but I'm just doodling stuff. And I made a lot of funny looking characters and I made a couple scary ones. I'll show y'all my sketchbook. I don't know if y'all saw it before, but I'll show y'all my sketchbook. Yeah, and I have a couple characters. What I'm trying to work on is females. I'm not really good with females because I started off with the Dragon Ball Z. No, I used to just draw stickman, but when I started drawing people, it was mostly, I think everybody starts with dudes. And it was more Dragon Ball Z base, so everything was strong looking, muscles. It wasn't top notch, but it was, you can get the idea. The clothes, it used to look, bro, if I show y'all the old drawing of how I used to draw pants, y'all would look at that like, why you got so much corners? I'm going to school for, but they don't do animation at this school, which I'm at right now. But they have cool, really nice art classes. The teachers are awesome. I don't know if they'll see this, but shout out Miss Delano and Miss Gagliano. They both sound Italian, but I know for sure Miss Gagliano is Italian. You know, for you guys that are interested in drawing, there's no excuse. You can draw anywhere. You know, some places might get you in trouble. Some places are for drawing. You can draw anywhere. You can draw anytime you want. You know, you can try different mediums. You can try charcoal. I remember I used to do charcoal. It was charcoal for me was kind of difficult because it was messy. But I mostly, if I do charcoal, it's just to get like silhouettes. I don't draw full people. If I do draw people, I draw silhouettes, you know, just abstract stuff with charcoal because it's so quick. You can keep it loose. Charcoal is similar to chalk pastel, which is the colored version of charcoal. That's how I look at it. You know, everybody has their own way to say stuff. But yeah, paper, pencil, pen, paper. I used to draw on my hands. Like I used to be in primary school. I think y'all call middle school in the US. But primary school, I used to draw on my arm. I used to draw characters. I used to draw like Naruto doing a Rasengan, but there was this Superman S that everybody used to do. That's how old I am. Superman S. And yeah, we used to go home and we used to show each other like, yo, look at this, bro. Yeah, I drew that. Yeah, dig, and stuff like that. So yeah, classes, drawing more. Teacher, Miss Cooper and Miss Rampasad. Both of them great teachers. You know, taught me a lot. Like I remember I drew a lime one time. That's the highlight of my career in that school. That lime, bro, it was on the wall, and I used to be like, yo, that's my lime right there, cuz. But yeah. So shout out to Duncan. But that's for drawing. You know, you can draw anywhere. You can use colored pencils. Anything I can find that can make lines, I draw. Sorry about that. I draw. I just like my little brother, he started drawing too. And what I'm doing is every time he says, how you get so good at drawing? I'm like, lots of practice, because it is a lot of practice. If you wanna get better at figures, you gotta. And here's the thing that most people don't feel like. They feel like it's cheating. References help you find the angle, and it helps you find the proportions and stuff, you know. And I was one of those people. I used to be like, man, using references is like cheating, you know. You have a model, because I thought that, you know, you have to know how to do this, you have to know how these people look, but you can't know something if you've never seen it. So, and even if you have seen it, you kind of forget some of the more details. Like for muscular people, I used to always draw their arms buff, but what about the chest area? Chest area has to be like wide, kind of. Or you can also wide chest, because when you're buff, you have muscular. You look like me, you dig? Like 2000 and let's say 9-10, that's where I found Pivot, stick figure animator. Shout out Peter Bone, he's the creator of that. Don't sue me, my name has Pivot in it. Found Pivot, and I was like, I used to just make these short cartoons. I never used to post them on YouTube, never, because I don't think I had internet at the time. I was poor. Still poor, but hey, you know. Yeah, I used to animate. I used to just make these short films, and my brothers, and then used to be like, you made that? And then my cousin, he started doing it too, and like on my computer sometimes he would just make stuff. I'd be like, yeah, keep going, and then, you know, we would play and we'd be like, look at that. I mean, you know. And then in 2011, when I hit high school, I was 11. I met Flaming, and it turns out he was trying to get Pivot, and I had it, and we had these Sasuke. Tell me if you remember when Kamala gave out okay, we have prime ministers, and when she got elected for the first time, she gave out laptops to all students and all schools coming in, and that was awesome. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know, I used to always rock with P&M, but what, UNC? Them computers, dog. You know, we call them Kamalas. Yeah, the Kamalas. Sasuke, tell me if you remember them Kamalas, not dog. That's mind break. But yeah, so kids used to bring games and stuff. I introduced everybody in my school to emulators. I used to be the emulator champion, where I had Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, I remember I had a Nintendo DS as well, emulator. I had the I hate the PS1. What's another one? The Super Nintendo, the Wii. What's the website? Emu something. Damn. Don't worry, we'll talk about that stuff. If you're interested in emulators, just hit me up in the comments. I'll try to find the website I used to use, because that website is awesome. They have all the emulators that you can get, as well as the games you can download with it, my guy. Like, bro, I was in heaven, bro. Games. There was a Naruto game, and for the Wii, and I think to do a Rasengan, you had to like swirl the touch screen, bro. When I met Flaming, we had flash drives. I gave him my the Pivot file, and he installed it. That nigga, bro, he was way better at Pivot than me. he was way better at animation than me. You know, he knew what he was doing more. He was more in, like, deep into it. He used to talk about easing and what do you call it? Curves, not curves, arcs. He used to talk about. I used to be like, what the? I just want to make the thing funny, because in my head, my style of animation is I don't know how to explain it. His style is having like a slight sense of realism to it, but also making it epic. But mine's was like, you know how those old cartoons would be like, they would like reach in their pockets and pull out like a tall hammer and just hit somebody on the head. That's my type of animation. You know, that's where my style comes from. It was more the gags more. And yeah, like Courage the Cowardly Dog, you know, one time he was tied up to a pole and he couldn't get off, and a spider was coming to him and he was in his pocket. He pulled out a blowtorch and he's like, I was like, yo, that's funny. And that was funny to me, so that's why I was trying to get into it. And I also want to get like better at my timing and stuff, but we'll get to that. So yeah, he made an animation. If you go on his channel, Flaming Pivot 2732, if you go to that, you find my first Kamehameha, I think, was the first animation he made and showed to me. And the dude went up in the air and he said, psh. And you know, I was like, yo, how you made that? When you look at it now, from how that's how you can tell that you're growing in animation. Like when you can watch an old animation and be like, yo, it's not as fluid as the newer ones, you dig? And you can put, like, when I'm watching cartoons, I can legit point out stuff. Like I'll be like Rick and Morty, when I'm looking at them, I'm like, they're not drawing every frame. They're using puppets, rigs. They're using tweening to animate. And I'm not good with puppet animation. I'm more of the traditional draw everything over, and that takes a lot of time, especially when you're by yourself. Plus I do the voicing and the sound effects. I have to find sound effects and stuff like the editing and all of that, you know. But yeah, that's why YouTube has an audio library. Utilize it. We both became like animation buddies after he showed me that. I was like, yo. And then I would go home, I'll make an animation, or we'll be in school making animations on our computer. We'd be like, yo, or just, you know, we weren't in the same class, but, you know, we used to hang out a lot after that. And we found out we used to play Roblox together. We've been on Roblox since Master J, since Maple Galaxy, since Building Race, since the old Mario Kart game that someone made on Roblox one time. We were there for all of that. And, you know, we used to play together. We used to play this Dragon Ball Z game, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, started getting better at animation. I don't know about me. I got better in some kind of thing. Better at portraying what I want people to see. And I think that's a big thing too. Because most people, they would make an animation. It would be like, and you'd be like, what is he doing? You know, there's no anticipation. And, you know, and then I started realizing everything moved quick. So I was like, you know, give this like 4 frames so that his hand is up in the air longer, so you can tell, oh, he's winding up to hit a nigga in the head. Boom! And stuff like that. And, you know, I didn't know how to do voices yet, but sound effects, you know, we had Windows Movie Maker, bro. That is what we used to use. That's my mom. Damn. But Windows Movie Maker, we used to use that. And hopefully it didn't mess up the audio, but whatever. We used to edit videos, make shorts with each other. He came up with this. He had like that was back in the time of DBZ fighting for stick figures, bro. Everything was Dragon Ball Z and Naruto. Yeah. So he made this this series called QBR, which is Quick Battle Round, and, you know, it was just like a quick battle between 2 stick figures, blah blah blah, and coming up to all of that, he made this this one thing called OMG Hacks. I remember when he was telling me about OMG Hacks, but he was like, yo, you know, OMG Hacks, they're gonna be like this, and all these DBZ characters, and like, go watch OMG Hacks, bro. That shit is fire. You'll see Wendy at Wendy's skills. Well, not all of his skills, but most of his skills. I can talk about Wendy's skills in another video, because I feel like people think, you know, Wendy is just me online, but he's actually a character I made up with Flaming. Well, I think I named the character because let me tell you about how they come. We were sitting down. We were like, everybody had an OC, and we were like, we need LCs, and then he was thinking. I think he said something about Dragon Ball Z type characters, and I was like, oh no, in my head I'm like, I want my character to have stuff that I like, and I really like Blue. So I was like, and at the time I like Naruto a lot. And I was like, Blue and Naruto. And also, all the video games that I like and stuff. And I was like, what about if we do it? Everybody's doing stick figures with like, they're just they're just fighters from Dragon Ball Z kinda. I was like, what if we did elements? And he came up with, he said, I'll pick fire. And I was like, I'm gonna go wind. So he was like, well, what can we name them? I'm gonna lie to you. Wendy's name was almost Bob or Jeffrey. But I was like, let's just call him Windy and Flaming. And he was like, yeah. And then since we used to do pivot, we was like, Windy Pivot or Flaming Pivot. And the numbers in his name was one of his friends on Roblox. 2732. That's one of his friends. The numbers in their name. And he was like, yeah. And then we had Windy and Flaming. We was like, yo, they can be best friends. Blah, 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 And that was Windy in the first draft. And if you see the first drawing for Windy, you'll be like, ugh! That nigga's hair used to be legit air. Bars. That man, his hair used to be the way we pictured his hair would be moving a lot, and it would be like breaking off and flowing off and forming back and stuff, like air itself. And Flaming would be like this buff dude. And then, while also around that time, there was this group called, what was it? Zetabran. And they were a bunch of stick figure animators and stuff. And Nuzzle was one, Tenshin Maru. My favorite was Tenshin Maru, bro. He was just, the Wendy's pose when he beats somebody is a thumbs down. No, it's a thumbs up. Because Tenshin Maru, he has the thumbs down, and Wendy does this, and I wanted to give him a signature pose, and that's like, he always thumbs up people, and that'll be his signature. So yeah, and over the years, Wendy became blah blah blah. I started saying, Flaming was the only one that would draw Wendy, and the way he drew him, I was like, nah, that's not how I see him, And then I was like, let me try drawing him because it's my character. Why can't I draw the nigga? So I kept practicing, and I was like, I stopped at the designs that you guys see now. He has 3 spikes at the front and 2 at the back, and I got that from Goku when he was a kid. I don't know if he still has it, but I said, let me hit him with the spiky. The 3 spikes at top, 2 at the back. Flaming went with a mohawk. And he made Flaming more angry. He's an angry character. Get out of here, nigga. He's the angry character. And Wendy's the hyper dumbass character, kinda. But also really strong. We made I was trying to give him like a storyline. Flaming? He came up with the alien part. So Wendy and Flaming, they're aliens from a different planet. I think Flaming is from a type of fire kind of planet, and I think on his planet there's like broken off sets of people. There's like the flame people, which is Flaming, and then there's the magma people, blah blah blah, which is these 2 twins that I made up. They're magma twins is what I call them. And one of them is always in like a cat and mouse kind of fight with Wendy, always yelling at each other and fighting and stuff. And and on Wendy's planet, I can't remember the name, but he's half human and half Omni, I think is what he called it. So we came up with this in 2011, 13, somewhere there. He's a half Omni. His dad's name is Tornado, and Flaming's dad is Blazer. So Wendy's dad is really, he's not like, if you look at Wendy and you look at his dad, he's the whole opposite of Wendy. Wendy's nice and all of that, but annoying. But his dad is just serious and will beat your ass, nigga. And yeah, so his dad's Tornado. Tornado's, I think he said Tornado is known out the galaxy as like he conquers islands, I mean planets and stuff like that. And every time when they see Wendy, like, yo, you're Tornado son, blah blah blah, and you're like, oh yeah. And Wendy's mom is a human, but she buff as hell, and I think blah blah, half Omni, half human. That's what kind of gives Wendy his more feelings side, and more of how he can act a certain way, because his style of fighting is unpredictable. And I didn't want it to be in the beginning, but then I started watching One Piece, and y'all know I watched Luffy, and I was like, yo, he just makes these moves up on the spot. And I was like, what if I did that? But Wendy's fighting style is just so unpredictable that they're on their guard, because you never know what he's gonna do. So that's one of the things that I wanted to put into the character. He's just unpredictable. You never know. And in an episode, you never know what he's gonna be doing. And he's always coming up with these weird ideas. And I want to talk about his moves and how it is, but just to give you a rundown, his moves are all, not all of them, but most of them are punches. And I got that idea from Captain Falcon. And I was like, I like the concept of Falco punch. And I was like, what if I made it Falcon punch, but made it Windy punch instead? So basically he calls it the Windy punch, but there's tiers to it. And that's what I put into the character. He has tiers to his the highest tier he has is the Zero series. He calls them series, and the Zero series is like the moves that are like, he doesn't use them unless he needs to. And one of the Zero series' punches are the Void Touch. It's basically, it puts, his hand turns into like the void itself. And it's like his whole hand turns to like, I want it to look texture and stylized, like it's black, but it looks like outer space kinda. And it's just like moving around on his hand. Anything he touches, it erases it. But the thing is, it also puts a lot of strain on his arm, so he can't use that move too much, or else his arm could go missing. It can eat up his arm. And that's in the beginning, but further on he'll learn how to control it and stuff like that. So that's just a rundown of Windy. My favorite move from the series, from his punches, is Dante's Inferno. I made that up because of the show, the animation Dante's Inferno. Basically, he flies up in the air. He encases both of his arms in hell flames, and he picks a target and he flies straight towards him. And like a couple seconds before he hits the floor, he spins like a wheel, and then as soon as he's about to touch the floor, his both arms touch the floor and like a magic circle pops up, and then it causes a big nuclear explosion, bro. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about animation. And if you want to, here's some tips. If you want to animate, if you like drawing and you want to animate like drawing stuff, I would go with Adobe Flash or Macromedia Flash, which is the free version, or Pencil is free too, or I think Krita. I don't know if Krita is animation. And there's also, if you just want to do stick figure and just see how you like it, just get Pivot Animator or Toon Boom, but you got to pay for Toon Boom, and you have to pay for Adobe Animate as well. But Macromedia Flash is free, and all you need is to download it. And what else? I think that's it. Flamin has a move that he made to counter Windy. I think that's what Flaming himself said. I think it's called the Flaming Shotgun, which is cool to me because Windy names his moves. Well, his basic punch is Windy Punch, and he has the Flaming Shotgun. and it's made to counter Windy. You dig? That's funny to me, you know. And we'll talk about this in another video. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe. I'm gonna make another video. Even if we hit 2 likes, I'll make a video explaining Windy's powers and his friends and stuff like that, because I want to talk about it. Bye.